Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another YouTube video with your boy, Pollux the Wise. I hope you guys are doing absolutely frogging splendid, taking care of yourselves, and as always, are staying safe. We are back with another episode of Gods of Defense, and to be honest with you guys, I have been enjoying this game so much recently that I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a concerted effort to try and finish all the different episodes of this tower defense game, and just try and get this series done because there are some interesting challenges that I'd like to explore in the future, but unfortunately, that's going to require us to have basically close to a completed save file, so hence, that's why we're going to be kind of concentrated on pumping out all these different videos for this different game, or levels in this game. Excuse me. So, yeah, let's waste no time, go ahead and get started. We've got quite a few stars done. So, in the last episode, I cannot believe we are already past the first two parts of the campaign. So we are on to 3. And what do we have here? The enemy type is all. The corruption is ×1. Gold drop stops at wave 20. Starting towers are a little bit limiting. Nothing crazy here. But there are 3 doors, which is a bit of a yikes. Also, I don't know what to do with our resources here at this point, so I think I'm just going to save them. And you guys will apologize if I sound like I just woke up this morning. That is because, well, frankly, I literally just did. About, like, I'm going to say 20 minutes ago now. Excuse me. Yeah, and this is where the starting gold is actually going to come in handy, like, a ton. So, now that we have all that we have, I'm thinking what we're going to want to do is go for Pyro Tower, the monks, and the mints. And yeah, already a bit of an interesting start here. Not too many gold mint spots to worry about, but that's okay. Now, unfortunately, because we're going to be in a bit of a pickle when it comes to money, what we're going to have to do here is kind of play a little bit smarter than we do normally, which entails us using the regular basic gun towers in conjunction with the pyros. So that's not something I normally do, you guys, but we'll see if we can make this work to our advantage. But yeah, let's go ahead and actually get some of these down. I'm thinking we could probably get like 2 gun towers in here. We'll go ahead and put some of these just kind of offset here near the back. And I think with a defense set up like this, we should be okay to get started here in a second. There we go. And yeah, let's begin. Alright. And we'll go ahead and speed things up. And we'll see if these basic gun towers make the game in the early waves a little bit easier. And I'm just trying to carefully keep an eye on every single lane. And we'll see where we can go from here. Okay, so +2 damage or range. We could also unlock the Quagmire. I feel like that could just be really useful later on. So you know what? I think that's what we're going to do, ladies and gents. I think we're going to go ahead and start working on some Quagmires. These things are really, really good. They're kind of expensive, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a Pyro Tower here. I want to get the range maxed out. Oh, you know what? Shoot, I may have just shot myself in the foot here, kind of. Because, yeah, I did block off one of the Spirit Well spots. Is it worth selling? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. Because I kind of need all the mana I can get at this point, given the enemy type that we're facing. And we can always upgrade this so it's a little bit better in a different spot. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, these enemies definitely... Uh-oh. 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 Ow. Okay. Obviously, we're going to need to upgrade the range on the Quagmires so that they're a little bit better. Okay, yeah. That was unfortunate. Also, yeah, we gotta start getting down monks so that way we can just kind of focus on combating these enemies. And also charging our God tier ability. There we go. Okay. Now, with this in mind, because obviously now we've started struggling a little bit, let's go ahead and upgrade our Quagmire so that we can... Wait, what the hell? It literally shows 1.3k gold. And this is the price to upgrade this thing. And it's just not letting me for a moment. Okay. Whatevs. Alright, well that was kind of interesting. Okay, recover 3 temple health does look pretty good. No damage to the temple next wave also looks kind of good, not gonna lie. I think we're gonna go ahead and just get this. Excuse me. Now we can go ahead and afford to upgrade this, which I think we will do. And then start another one over here. Yeah. Okay, nice. Okay, we gotta be very careful here. Very cognizant of where the enemies are along the pathway. Just give ourselves time to charge up our temple ability and then just spam it. That's pretty much going to be the basic plan here. I'm not going to rely on putting down too terribly many towers, except for the Quagmires, that is. Giggity. There we go. 70% slow go burr. I just noticed, though, we only have, like, 1 Quagmire over here, so we should probably get another one. Okay, and now we've got at least 2 defending each lane. Oh yeah, there we go. That makes all the difference in the world. Oh. There was an enemy that almost just leaked through over here. Okay, now we could give +2 range. We could get a snowstorm. No damage to the temple next wave. Honestly, the first of these 3 right here, these are really good. I guess we could just get the mortar out of the way, though. That kind of is crappy, because I do want to unlock the bazooka later on. Okay. Wait, why am I placing these in such dumb spots, bruh? Ouch. Leads another life. Rip. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of this real quick. This is just all over the place. I did not even mean to put these 2 here. Okay. Yeah, admittedly, we probably should be putting down some more defenses, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go, finally. We can upgrade this. Okay, cool. Finally, we got the bazooka. This is definitely going to help. So we're just going to place this right here. Because these things have ridiculous range, so... And because I want them to kind of be lane focused, or focused on specific lanes, we're going to go ahead and put them kind of like in awkward spots. I think 4 bazookas to start off with, though, should be more than adequate enough. Yeah, okay. This looks good, this looks good. All these Quagmires look great. I think we should be okay here. I think the top lane is also kind of struggling, though, because we didn't put the Quagmires together on the top or left lane. So, in the future, guys, if you guys are going to use this tower, it might behoove you to try keeping them together so you have a extended slowing zone as opposed to not. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but hopefully it will eventually. Oh boy, that was a lot of gold. All right. We could do +1 damage to the pyro. I think we're gonna go for the bazooka, maybe? Nah. Yeah, I guess we'll go for the bazooka. Also, I see that little spirit well area down here. We'll go ahead and rotate the map back around. Oh! We are already on to the first boss fight. Excellent. Alright. So we've taken care of this lane here pretty much, which means that we can start focusing our resources elsewhere. So let's go ahead and sell some of these gun towers now. I like how if you just let the towers kind of upgrade themselves on autopilot, you can sell them back for, like, the full value that you should get from selling these things, which is really nice. Okay. I guess we'll get another Quagmire here. I know they stack, but if they overlap a little bit, that's okay, but I'm not as focused with that happening and more focused or concerned with just making sure our coverage is good. Okay, this is going to get expensive, but kind of worth it. Yeah, that's a big ouch. Let's go ahead and start putting down some more Pyro Towers and just kind of maxing out the basic stats. I really don't care too much about the crit chance. I kind of just want to get the damage, range, and reload maxed out, because that's the most important aspects for this tower. We'll go ahead and get one here. Because, yeah, like, look at the range on this thing. If I highlight it here, that just basically covers this whole area here with no problem whatsoever. I suppose we could go for another Quagmire Tower here, because this area is kind of looking a little thin on slowing. But it also has more entrances. Maybe I should just put down more defenses in general here. And then, yeah, max this out. There we go. We'll go ahead and quickly try and get down some Spirit Wells. Oh, yeah. This is looking very good. Okay. Yeah, let's get the Quarry now, just because we can. Yeah, unfortunately, not much really else to do here. I'm just keeping a careful eye on the temple and making sure enemies don't get too terribly far to it. I will say, I think it's about time, though, that considering the amount of time that I've spent playing this game now, I should make a video at some point here just kind of going over, you know, a more in-depth review about what I like and don't like about this game. Like, I would like to give my honest personal opinions as far as, you know, things that this game could definitely use some improvements on, and what it could do to make itself a little bit more mainstream in comparison to, like, some other tower defense games that are out there, like Kingdom Rush or Bloons Tower Defense 6, or Plants vs. Zombies. Obviously, it's not trying to become the next AAA game, but I still feel like this game, it has a lot of potential, but there are definitely some things that I would change about it as far as making it a little bit better. Not necessarily to say that it's a bad game, but I think my biggest critique about this game as of right now is that while there are other tower defense games that I have and still do play to this day, I will say I feel like this is probably one of the few ones that I've played that does feel somewhat, I don't want to say repetitive, because that's not the right word, but I wish that there were more and more new mechanics. And I know we haven't finished unlocking the rest of the tech tree here, so don't get me wrong. I know we still have plenty to explore and do. But as of right now, at this stage in the game, it just feels like I'm kind of doing the same thing over and over again for the different levels. The only difference is the number of starting doors that you go through. Now, I know that there are challenges that you can do for each level specifically. So, like, if we... Well, actually, here, let me close this real quick. I don't know if I ever demonstrated that or talked about that in previous episodes. I'm pretty sure I have at this point multiple times. I'll have to go back and show you guys. But challenges are a nice little way to spice up the different levels, making sure you can beat levels under certain restrictions. But those are kind of, I don't want to say developer imposed, because I don't know who was responsible for coming up with the challenges, if it was the developer or just somebody else. But personally, I find some of those to kind of be a bit ridiculous, especially if you don't happen to have the tech tree maxed out as far as the different towers are concerned. So, just keep that in mind. I like playing the challenges. It's just, some of them are just nigh on impossible if you don't have certain upgrades unlocked. Or just certain towers in general. Like, Quagmire was basically needed to beat Speedy Bullets in the first act of the main campaign. Although I'm sure Kappa would be able to show you guys how to do this without grinding for resources or anything like that. But yeah. We have quite a bit of gold saved up. We should probably spend it on another Quagmire here, because it does seem like the enemy is getting a little bit far at times. We'll see. Alright. Okay, resist corruption during the next wave. That actually sounds really good right now, I'm not gonna lie. And I think I am gonna go for another Quagmire here. Let's go ahead and get one that's like just right by the temple. That looks excellent. And yeah, I think we can go ahead and afford to put down another Pyro Tower here. Help get some extra damage and DPS on this side of things. And I think I will also put another one over here. I have no idea how well this side has or has not been doing. But better safe than sorry, am I right? Yeah. At this point, we're just at the point in the game where the enemy's speed is just going kind of burr. So if the God tier ability from the temple doesn't, you know, nuke them out, then c'est la vie. And see, that's just the other thing, too. I feel like the powers that you unlock that you can use in this game, that is another thing that I would critique about this game, is that, like, this ability here is so overpowered. Because it doesn't matter how many enemies are near the temple, it's just an areola insta-kill, and it just nukes everything around it within a stupidly wide radius. So, I'm not sure how I feel about this being in the game as it stands right now. I feel like, well, obviously people are going to be like, well, if you feel it's too overpowered and it's, you know, makes things too easy, well, then just don't use it. Just use more towers. I mean, it is a tower defense game, but see, I'm looking for something to encourage me to not use this, rather than me consciously having to choose not to use it myself. So I'd rather the game kind of not force me to try out different things. Well, I guess that is kind of what I'm saying, isn't it? I'd rather a game try to force me to try out different strategies and towers and things, as opposed to just spamming an ability. So, like, as soon as I started doing that with the temple, I thought, okay, well, I don't want to sound like I'm bored or this is getting too repetitive, but it's getting a little repetitive. So, outside of, you know, consciously deciding not to use this myself, I'm looking for an excuse not to use this ability and spam it to high heavens. I guess pun intended, considering, you know, the name of the game. Gods of Defense. But I don't know if anybody got the joke. Never mind. Anyways. Terrible jokes aside, though. Yeah, this thing is just a little too overpowered. I think we'll go ahead and get another bazooka tower. I don't know if we'll be able to afford another one. We'll see if we can. I will say, as far as, like, the positives are concerned, like I said, I love the graphics, I love the artwork, I love the music. Even though the music is somewhat repetitive, I feel like I wish they added in a couple new OSTs. That would be really cool. So some new music to spice up the different levels of the game. Maybe just even different backgrounds would be kind of nice, so that's not always, like, grass-related. Like, imagine if you got to, like, Door 2 or Door 3... in the second or third acts of the main campaign, and then the scenery changes accordingly. So, like, there'd be more, like, decayed or dead vegetation all around, or something like, I don't know, I'm trying to think here as an example. What would be a good example of, like, what would be cool to spice this game up? I feel something like mini-bosses. Like, honestly, there's no real bosses in this game. There's no boss-type enemies. It's just enemies that have ridiculous stats that require something like an insta-kill bazooka to shoot all of them down. I don't know. Like, if there was an enemy that spawned from one of these portals, and then if you killed it, it drops the hope, that would be cool. I will say another positive that I like about this game is the fact that the enemies can have either 2 times health or 2 times the shield, or the speed. Because fast enemies definitely require you to micro more and strategize more, which I do appreciate about this game implementing. There are a lot of fast enemies in this game. Okay, you know what? I'm too lazy to, like, sell all this crap. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna play the damn rounds. Oh, shoot. Come on. Oh my goodness, lag. Hello. Gotta be a little bit careful here. The enemies aren't even dropping any gold at this point, so we're relying strictly from the economy of our... what do you call them? The mints. I can't even put them down right now because I gotta focus on killing these, spawners. But holy hell. Another boon draw? Might as well get the damage. Yeah, I guess it was kind of a waste putting all these extra free pyro towers over here. At least we put a couple down here. I definitely like the environmental hazards. I like the curses and blessings effects. I think that's a good mechanic to have in a game like this. Definitely approve of that. And there we go, nice. Still have like 2 more entrances to take care of. Damn. Excuse me. Oh, shoot. Okay. We got some flying enemies here. Boy, when they said all enemies, I guess they really did mean it, huh? Okay, now we actually have something to worry about besides just the ground units. So yeah, using these temple abilities. But see, like, here's the thing. Like, our air defenses on their own can't really take care of these hordes of flying, whatever the hell these things are called. I'll have to go take a look at them later. But, like, we have to rely on the temple ability to help take care of them. If we didn't have that, we would just be screwed. And yeah, see, like, I will say another thing that could be improved about this game. Gold drop during the next wave ×2. Well, it's 0%. So unless this applies to all of the gold mints that are on the map, this one is essentially useless. And same thing too, like, I kind of wish that there were, like, more different boon draws that, like, gave other different effects. Good effects, or curses, depending on, you know, if you have corruption accumulated enough. But I feel like some of these are just repetitive. None of these are useful at this point in the game. Because we barely have any guns, and the ones that we do have down are maxed out. The mortars, we don't even have any of these purchased, so why would you roll this, you know? Like, I kind of wish the AI was a little bit smarter in that regard. 2 would be nice. But, oh well, c'est la vie. And yeah, see, here we go. But yeah, this is just kind of a somewhat repetitive process when it comes to taking care of these guys. Also, I'm pretty sure these guys can't even carry corruption. Yeah. On their own, I don't think they have any means of giving corruption. That would be cool if, like, air enemies could do that. So, unfortunately, they don't. Here we go. I will say, though, this is one of the more interestingly designed enemies, just because of their animations and all that, and their attack pattern. But see, here's the thing. I call it an attack pattern. Like, the enemies really don't do much to quote-unquote fight back against your towers. Not that I'm expecting to, I guess, but, like, maybe imagine if there was, like, an enemy where, like, they could stun your towers or something. That would kind of be cool. I just feel like there's so much potential that this game has and things that they could add. But I don't know. Maybe the developer has something in the works. I don't want to judge too terribly harshly. Sure, let's just upgrade this. But yeah. See, like, waves like this, where there's, like, hardly any enemies coming out, I just kind of feel like this is poor wave design. I feel like there should be more happening on screen by wave 30 this late in the game. There shouldn't be any excuses for this. There should definitely be more enemies on screen. Excuse me. But yeah, like, I like the spawners. Like, when you kill them, if they spawn more enemies, that's a good design choice. I will say, this is the other thing, too, about having, like, the map be this big. Thankfully, we have the fast forward button, which is a nice quality of life change from, like, other tower defense games. Really, Bloons Tower Defense 6, Plants vs. Zombies 2, those are the only two other major ones that kind of have this feature. Kingdom Rush, unfortunately, doesn't have it. You have to use Cheat Engine to kind of speed up the game, which sucks. I wish more games just in general had, like, a fast forward button. Infinito 2, thankfully, does have this. So they're a great example of what you can do. And actually, I'm pretty sure they've perfected the fast forward button. If everybody else, as far as, like, tower defense games were concerned, or just games in general, if you need a fast forward button, do what Infinito 2 did. Copy out of their book, kind of, so to speak. Because they not only have 3 different speed settings, but they also have a feature where if you just basically hold down the slowdown button, or the pause button, well, I call it a pause button because it never truthfully slows it down all the way. But what it does is it basically makes it so enemies are, like, slow to an infinitesimal crawl. But everything else obviously is too. Like, your towers fire like crazy slow and all that jazz. But yeah. Anyways. Dear God, look at these purple enemies. What the hell? But yeah, like, see, look at the enemies. They're, like, trickling out, like, one at a time. One, or a couple here. There's a couple here. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was literally just one BBB bro moment. But yeah. Definitely could stand to improve from the wave composition here. Like, by this point, there should be air enemies back again. I think it's because we destroyed this portal over here on this area right here. This didn't even get that far. I also kind of wish that the map expanded in multiple directions at once constantly, as opposed to just expanding in one direction one time this way, and then another time this way, and all that jazz. Like, because it kind of invalidates the purpose of you building up any kind of defenses in any one particular area. You have to keep your defenses spread out, but the problem is you don't know where that's going to occur. You just know you're going to need to do it eventually, and the game just kind of throws you for a loop. You're like, oh, I spent all my free pyro towers over here from a boon draw, and then the map just expands in a completely different direction from what I was expecting. Also, back to full health on the temple. Nice. So I feel like, as I said, there's definitely some improvements to be made here. And I will do a more thorough, in-depth review and analysis of this game at some point in the close future, just before I probably get a new job. But here we go. Alright. Well, the good news is we have, or had, plenty of extra resources, so we should be okay. That's a lot of faith. Holy heck. And 5 extra hope. Taste of Dirt. Win the first battle in Door 3. Very nice. Interesting name for an achievement, though. Earn extra faith. There's literally, like, 1 green brick. Bro moment. Wow. Okay, yeah. No, definitely a max number of bricks. Okay, now comes my favorite little minigame. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Despite the fact that I suck at this thing, I love this minigame. See, this is a good example of, like, game design. Because not only is it an incentive to get extra rewards, but it's just fun, you know? Like, you just shoot this little ball, ricochet it off the bricks, and miss every single one of them. Okay, that's great. I mean, if you're like me, that's just simply a skill issue on my part. That's just is what it is. But here we go. Ooh. Okay, that was some new music. Look at the names of these levels. Monsoon Missiles, Golden Valley, and Iron Rocks. Let's go ahead and take a look at these real quick. Oh, sweet Jesus. Spawners every 7th wave, Devils and Beasts. The environment has Persistent Rain. Corruption ×1. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Enemy type is all. Yeah, this enemy mass thing down here has literally stayed like this the entire time. This has never gone past one vertical bar. Like, what the hell? But okay, I guess. Persistent magnetism throughout the battle. Guns miss 50% of the time. But they literally start you off at the Pyro Tower for a moment. Yeah, the enemy type is, I think, all for like 3 out of the 4 first levels in this third act of the main campaign. Anyways, let's go ahead and spend our crazy amount of upgrades real quick. I think we're going to go ahead and just, buy this. Do we want to try unlocking the hammer? I think we will. Let's go ahead and do it. YOLO. There we go. We'll make it a little bit cheaper. And we can test out this tower in the next game. But in any case, ladies and gents, that's about going to do it for the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know a little bit of a lengthy episode, a little bit of a complaining one, but hopefully it was constructive criticism. Don't take this personally as far as the developers are concerned. I do like this game. I'm obviously still playing it. I just wish that you guys would capitalize more on the potential that this game has. But I will be going more in depth in a review as far as what I like and don't like about this game in the far future. In any case, ladies and gents, this is Pollux the Wise, and I will hopefully see you guys all in the next YouTube video. Peace out.